Hello, my name is Neasa MacErlean. I'm a financial journalist and I also qualified as a chartered accountant. Sorry, my alarm has just gone off. This is a short video about reading the financial pages in the media. I've spent most of my life writing the financial pages and reading them, particularly the ones I worked on with the Observer and the Guardian. What I'm going to do is just look at the use of one particular word in the financial press, and that word is turbocharging, which you'll recognise from Boris Johnson's use of it over the last 2 years. So lots of people should read the financial press because of their job or because they want to know about particular industries, but they struggle. And I can really understand why. The financial pages tend to be written in a kind of a code, and it is pretty dry. So if you can find a way into understanding these pages, then the job will become far easier for you. None of us really likes anything that we can't quite understand. We feel a bit vulnerable in those circumstances. So ideas and stories often actually start on the financial pages. When you think about it, house prices, the stock market, which was so much of the big political story in America under Trump, how the Dow Jones was performing and NASDAQ, gas, energy prices, petrol prices, poverty, welfare benefits. So many of these stories either start on the business pages or the money pages, or they'll start off in the Financial Times. The Sun journalists spend a great deal of time reading the Financial Times, and they take stories from there and give them the Sun treatment and then splash them on their pages. So if your job is about looking into the future, understanding the financial pages can give you several days, even several months of lead time above either your rivals or your customers or the other people that you deal with. Right, so just looking at this particular word, turbocharging. There was a time when the word turbocharging was hardly ever used. You'd find it in the FT in articles about the car industry. So you'd have articles like China debates electric car policy 10 years ago, back in 2011, or a piece on Formula One racing in 2014 called Turbo Engines Make Comeback After 25 Years. It was a very specialist word and was often contrasted with supercharging, but we won't go into that today. Then what happened was that in July 2019, the Chief Secretary to the Treasury in the British government, Liz Truss, used the word in an article in the financial pages in City AM. She was backing Boris Johnson to be the leader of the Conservative Party in the race that went on that year. So she talked about him being able to turbocharge plans for a no-deal Brexit. He actually read or listened to that speech. He doesn't particularly read very much, but he did actually hear that. And he liked this phrase, turbocharging, and he started using it himself. And then later on, at the end of July of that month, he was talking about turbocharging growth and delivering greater prosperity and opportunity for all. Then Sajid Javid got into using that word in the Daily Telegraph, and after that you were hearing the word turbocharging all over the place, and we still hear a great deal about it. So it then became used, just to give you three examples of by the Conservative Party. The Conservative government was talking about turbocharging Britain in general. And it was talking about turbocharging the economy in the northwest. Then just more recently, it's been talking about turbocharging parts of blue-collar Britain by launching free ports. And I was just looking at the use of turbocharging in the last few days. I was really interested in how a word associated with one person had spread its use through the financial pages and through the media generally, because it's a measure of his influence. If people are using a word that's completely associated with one person, it shows you how much people want to be associated with him. So just in the last week or 10 days, these are some of the numerous examples in how it's been used. Marks and Spencer's is going to turbocharge its online sales in 46 different countries. There's a dinosaur park in Middlesbrough which is turbocharging itself with a new upgrade. Bloomberg has been talking about Joe Biden's stimulus to turbocharge the world economy. You can't get much bigger than that. And the Wall Street Journal is using it, ProShare Nigeria, Livewire Markets, of course, the Daily Telegraph, which is where Boris Johnson was a journalist and where he had his monthly column, or was it weekly? Monthly column, yeah. And the Daily Telegraph uses turbocharging all the time, and that's clear because the Daily Telegraph is his newspaper. If you want to find out what's happening in 10 Downing Street, read the Daily Telegraph and, to a slightly lesser degree, the Sunday Telegraph. Okay. Another person who's been using this word turbocharging, this is quite interesting, is Sam Haldane, one of the senior economists at the Bank of England. He is a very ambitious man. And he, for instance, has adopted the pro-Brexit terminology of talking about throwing off the shackles of the EU. That is a very unusual claim for someone who's a reputable economist, but he's ambitious. And he's also been writing about turbocharging certain industries, food, energy and medicine. So watch out for Sam Haldane. If the longer that Boris Johnson survives, the more likely it is that Sam Haldane will get a promotion. For myself, just to put this in context for you, as I see it, I would never use the word turbocharging because it suggests bias. It's a word associated with one person and one group of people. And if you're a journalist, clearly you're not associated with one person. Well, in fact, you are associated with one person. That's the reader. You're trying to present your loyalty is to the reader, and you're trying to present the world to them. So I won't be using the word turbocharging, and I wouldn't be using other words that are particularly associated with Boris Johnson, like fit as a butcher's dog or I'm going to level with you. So do be careful. If you see people using those words, there's a reason that they're using them. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Bye.